Hi everyone, welcome to Best channel. In this video, we look at the latest email and the broadcast message that was sent to all SEVP certified schools to the DSOs, where they're really giving guidance on when they should approve CPT and what are the things they should follow. So there's been some confusion among users telling that is the CPT ended and all of that. So that's what we'll cover in this video. So this is what we look at. We look at the broadcast message actually that was sent out, and then some of the background and what is the future of it, and how could we interpret and what need to be careful about, right? So this is what we'll cover. If you want to subscribe to our channel, do subscribe for getting regular updates. So this was the email, as you can see, right? The screenshot of the email that was sent on August 12th. You can see this email also on ICE website. We'll put a link in the description where you can see that, right? So basically, this was an email that was sent to all the DSOs and the PDSOs. As a DSO stands for Designated School Official. This is the person who actually issues I-20s and sign up them. And PDSO is the principal designated school official. There'll usually be one PDSO and there'll be multiple DSOs depending on the size of the school, right? So what this is, this email is basically sent to remind all the DSOs that, in what cases they need to authorize and when they cannot. In fact, the rule has not changed, just to clarify, right? They're just trying to emphasize what can be done, but they're also added a little bit of wrinkle and how will, so that, just have to manage that or, how that will be. Look at that in the next steps, right? So basically, they're telling that as part of the email that they could SEVP can demand documents providing CPT, how did you authorize and all of that. So what they want to look at is if it's really properly authorized or not. So just to give set everybody on the same page, CPT stands for Curricular Practical Training. In fact, when I was doing my master's as well, I did work on CPT, to get some real world experience as well. So I think it's an integral part of your curriculum. So you could take a credit for a 1 credit course, or you could do multiple, a couple of credits in 2 semesters, and so that you get the real world experience of what has happened. So I was very fortunate to enroll in the CPT course for I think a semester. I think it's a semester has been long, so it was pretty good experience for me, right? So if you look at it, what CPT does is it gives work authorization for F1 students tied to that academic program, and the rule always says that it should be integral part of the curriculum. Means it is basically part of the curriculum, and you do what that is related to your program, right? That is the most important thing. And to be able to do CPT, excuse me, you need to have 1 full academic year on F1 enrollment, and then you can do part-time CPT or full-time during when the session is not there, usually in summers, right? And if you do 12 months of full-time CPT, that eliminates OPT, right? So this is what it is, right? And now this is the background of how the CPT is authorized and all of that, and it's not new, right? This has been there for some time. Now what they're saying in this is when can CPT approve? They're emphasizing that CPT is only valid and genuinely related to the work, and telling that when the required is the degree requires off-campus internship or practical experience, right? Or if you're doing a co-op, between the work terms and the degree program, or when doing thesis and you need some experience for that, or the student is enrolled in a 4 credit program, and then you do that, right? So this is when CPT can be approved. And now what has happened with this new guidance is that you can't really get improper authorization. Like, for example, you can't just be in a computer science degree and then, just get one credit for just doing some marketing related work, that's what they want to avoid, basically. Or if you're studying, engineering, mechanical engineering, whatever, and you do 1 credit CPT in an IT firm doing some experience, that will not work. So this is what they're telling. So likely valid ones are in engineering co-op, particular degree program, PhD candidates doing that, nursing student in that, right? But day 1 CPT without any coursework, used purely for working, and likely the CPT would be impacted, right? And full-time CPT where the program doesn't have such thing, or doing any unrelated work, right? Not tied to the major, and because some employer has an opening, so they just get 1 CPT and then just join, right? So this is what they're saying. One thing that they clearly tell is that in this guidance is, would the degree be impossible without this work, and is it required for all students program? So this kind of like a very tricky, I would say, gray area right now. Historically, the way it used to work is, you take a one credit elective internship course, may not be required for you, but you could take that course, and then it qualifies, and then you do the internship in your area of that, and usually work with your school where it, basically you work with an academic advisor and get the CPT approved, and then you do that, right? So this is the typical path, and even this is what is currently working as well. Why it is right now in the risk zone is that because the message clearly tells right now in this one telling that the CPT should be required for all students and degree is impossible without it. This kind of like a very gray area. I don't know why this is not really in the rule per se, but I guess this is the guidance they're giving. So how they'll interpret it, how this will work is slightly in a very unknown territory, to be honest, right? So just getting an internship just for the sake of it, because you're going to pay or going off campus, it adds up as an experience is going to be slightly tricky. So this is exactly what it tells in the email, right? Like, or the broadcast. So the second one that says ensure that CPT is only authorized when it is truly integral part of the program. Only authorize CPT if its absence would make the attainment of a degree an impossibility, and if the work associated with CPT is required for all students pursuing the degree. So this is the gray area right now, the number second bullet point. What it tells, so what's not clear from this is, let's say you are taking an optional credit and you can work, but now does this really like stop the academic advisor or somebody, because you could technically graduate without taking that course because it's an optional course for you, right? It's not, usually CPT is not part of the core programs, core credits usually in most of the college, right? But again, this totally depends. So this is something that's not clear. So I guess the best course of action is to work with the DSO and then work accordingly. Just again, doing anything outside of your degree program will trigger something called federal investigation, and schools will not risk it. It's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigation, right? They just telling all of that, right? So now it's also important for you as a student as well as schools as well, right? To document, okay, which program are you and what CPT you're doing, is it going to be required or not, all of that. And the whole point of all of this coming out is just to eliminate these day one CPT schools that have been abusing the whole system, right? That's what they're trying to eliminate, so that jobs or internships and all of these are taken away, right? By without proper authorization. So the key message from this is SEVP is not really changing the rule, but it's actually doing some changes in interpretation to some extent, right? And tightening that enforcement, telling that it has to be integral part of the curriculum. And they say that it was only valid when it is required or credit bearing tied to a major and part of an established curriculum. You can't just just join some CPT program because you have an internship opportunity open somewhere. And optional elective may qualify, but it's kind of most scrutinized category. This is something you need to work with your your advisor as well as your DSO and make the decision, because it's something you don't want any trouble, because schools will not risk end of the day, right? So this is something is slightly gray area. So that's why talk to your DSO and their advisor and make that call. And day one CPTs are going to be in a lot of scrutiny, right now. That is the whole thing they want to avoid. That's what they're trying to address, right? And all of them, they say that school officials, all of them, and including the students, are signing under penalty of perjury. So anything that you do misrepresentation, you're going to be in trouble, and they'll cancel all of this. So investigation. So, and this is going to be a very touchy subject. So I guess be careful when you're engaging any kind of CPT and work with your employer. Yeah. Again, do subscribe for getting regular updates. Thank you for watching.